In the heart of ancient Egypt, before the most powerful ruler on earth, a simple wooden staff defied every law of nature. What happened in that throne room wasn't just magic. It was the beginning of a confrontation between two worlds, two powers, and two definitions of reality itself. Today, we dive into the mystery of Moses' staff and discover why this moment changed everything. Moses held more than just a shepherd's tool. He carried the embodiment of divine authority disguised in the most humble form imaginable. This wasn't ornate gold or precious stones. It was wood, the same material shepherds had used for centuries. Yet within this ordinary object lay extraordinary power, representing how God often chooses the simple to confound the wise. The staff symbolized Moses' role as shepherd of God's people, but it also carried the weight of heaven's backing. When we examine this moment, we see that true authority doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It reveals itself through transformation. The staff's humble appearance masked its divine nature, teaching us that the most powerful tools often come in the most unexpected packages. This principle echoes through history. That which appears weak often carries the greatest strength, and that which seems ordinary often holds the most extraordinary potential. The transformation into a serpent was unrandom. It struck at the heart of Egyptian religious beliefs and royal symbolism. The cobra was sacred to Egypt, adorning Pharaoh's crown as the uraeus, representing divine protection and royal power. When Moses' staff became a serpent, it wasn't just a miracle. It was a direct challenge to Egypt's spiritual foundations. The serpent represented both wisdom and danger, life and death, chaos and control. In that throne room, God was speaking Egypt's own language, using their most revered symbol to demonstrate superior power. The irony cuts deep. The very symbol of Pharaoh has divine authority was now subject to the god of slaves. This wasn't merely supernatural theater. It was theological warfare. The message was clear. The God of Israel held dominion over the gods of Egypt, including the sacred serpent that supposedly protected their king. Every Egyptian witness understood the implications. Their protective deity had just bowed to a foreign god. The staff's transformation reveals how divine power operates through natural elements while transcending natural limitations. Unlike Egyptian magic, which relied on incantations, rituals, and material components, Moses simply obeyed God's command. There was no ceremony, no complex preparation, just faith expressed through action. The transformation was instantaneous, complete, and reversible, demonstrating control that surpassed any human manipulation of natural forces. This wasn't illusion or sleight of hand. It was matter itself responding to its creator's voice. The staff didn't just appear to be a serpent. It became one, with all the biological functions intact. Then, just as dramatically, it returned to wood. This cycle of transformation and restoration showed that divine power doesn't just break natural laws. It supersedes them while maintaining perfect order. The miracle operated on multiple levels simultaneously: physical transformation, spiritual demonstration, and prophetic declaration of what was to come. Imagine being in that throne room, watching wood become flesh, witnessing the impossible unfold before trained, skeptical eyes. The psychological impact cannot be overstated. Pharaoh's magicians attempted to replicate the miracle, and succeeded to some degree, but their serpents were immediately devoured by Moses' serpent staff. This detail reveals the superiority of divine power over human mimicry. The witnesses faced a crisis of worldview. Everything they understood about reality was being challenged. Egyptian magic was sophisticated, practiced by highly trained professionals who had devoted their lives to understanding supernatural forces. Yet their best efforts were literally swallowed by this. Hebrews' simple obedience to his God. The psychological warfare was deliberate. God was dismantling Egyptian confidence piece by piece. The miracle forced everyone present to confront their assumptions about power, reality, and divine authority. Some would dismiss it. Others would remember it, but none could remain unchanged by witnessing matter itself obeying the voice of the Hebrew God. Today's world still struggles with the concepts that the serpent staff represented. The relationship between the seen and unseen, the natural and supernatural, the temporary and eternal. Modern skepticism often dismisses such accounts as mythology, yet the principles they demonstrate remain relevant. We live in an age where power structures seem immutable, where injustice appears permanent, and where the impossible seems impossible. Yet the staff's transformation reminds us that apparent reality isn't ultimate reality. Just as Moses' simple wooden tool contained the power to challenge Pharaoh's empire, small acts of faith today can still shake seemingly unmovable systems. The staff also represents the tension between scientific materialism and spiritual reality, a tension that continues to define human experience. Whether we believe in literal transformation or see it as metaphor, the message remains. True power often emerges from unexpected sources and operates through principles that transcend our understanding of how things should work. Perhaps the most profound aspect of the serpent staff isn't what we can understand, but what remains beyond our comprehension. How does wood become flesh? How does the created order respond so readily to its creator's word? These questions push us to the edges of human knowledge and force us to grapple with the possibility that reality is far stranger and more wonderful than we imagine. The staff represents the interface between human limitations and divine infinitude, a reminder that our perception, however sophisticated, captures only fragments of truth. Even our most advanced scientific understanding cannot fully explain consciousness, let alone the transformation of matter at the word of its creator. The serpent staff stands as a testament to mystery itself, challenging our need to explain everything and inviting us to embrace wonder. It suggests that the universe operates on principles that extend far beyond our current grasp, and that true wisdom begins with acknowledging the boundaries of human understanding while remaining open to realities that transcend those boundaries. The staff that became a serpent continues to challenge us across millennia. What transformations might be possible in our own lives that we've dismissed as impossible? What unchangeable circumstances are we accepting as permanent when they might be ready for divine intervention? What ordinary tools in our hands might carry extraordinary potential if we had the faith to see beyond their surface appearances? Sometimes the most common things around us are relationships, our work, our daily routines, our simple acts of obedience carry transformative power we've never imagined, if we have the courage to cast them down in faith and watch what God might do.